And welcome back to redheart.com as well as the Crochet Crowd. I'm your host Mikey, and today is the continuation of the Mystery Crochet Along. And this is the Crochet Mystery Adventure, and we're bringing our friends allfreecrochet.com along for the ride for this particular journey. Now, none of us really know, well, you don't know exactly what this is. Some of you have some guesses, but I'm not going to confirm or deny nothing. So today we are continuing along within our project. If you're just joining us for the very first time, you can go back and do the history and go back to week number 1 to complete the head with the eyes. Then you can then continue to week number 2 where you can do 4 legs. So that's week number 2 is last week, and also we did ears last week as well, so you want to complete that. So you can continue to go. You have until May 6th to email us a finished photograph of your item completed altogether. So you don't need to email me in between every time you finish something. You just have to email me the finished look. So today, week number 3, we are going to go a step further. We're going to do 3 things today. We're going to create these little round circles. And these little round circles are going to go onto your character, but where are they going to go onto and exactly what are they for? You'll have to stay tuned. Now, what I'm going to tell you is that when you're picking your colors for this, pick a color that really stands out, that really is accenting the character really good. So you can be safe if you want to, but the contrasting colors, perfect. So we're going to be doing that today. You need 12 of those per character. I know one lady's doing 7 of these. She's going to love me for that because she's going to have to do 12 times 7, which equals a lot. I can't think of math on the top of my head like that. We're also going to be doing a tail today, and I'm going to be showing you tips on how to do the tail, but I don't want you to trim the tail because I want the tail to be on the creature before you start snipping. So you don't want to snip too early. And then finally, we're going to do a little bit more of the facial features today. We're going to be adding something near the front, and what we're going to be doing is that I don't want you to add the ears, I don't want you to add anything else but the facial features that we're going to show today on camera, because you may also, this may be another tip, you might want to wait until we're getting to the next video, because once you start seeing what this character is, it might change the reaction of your character. It might go from to who knows. So let's go down to the studio right now and begin to work on the 3 components right now. So let's start our project today. We are going to do 12 of these little round circles. They go really quickly, and in today's portion of this I'm going to show you an easy way to be able to maintain this in order to really avoid the stitch markers but also make sense of it so everyone ends up being perfect. So let's grab our yarn. I'm going to be using red because when I cross compare it to the body, I really am looking for the character to have a nice contrast of whatever we're doing. Oh, I almost spoiled it all for myself. So this is why I've chosen that. So you can do more subtle colors if you wish. I think the contrasting is more interesting. So let's begin. We're going to start off with a slip knot, and let's get started. So to get started and to make it a lot more easier for yourself, I want you to chain 2, so 1 and 2, and I want you to come into the very beginning chain, and I want you to single crochet 6 times around. So count it as you go, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6. Now normally in crochet patterns you'd want to mark that with a stitch marker, but you don't need to because you want to go really super fast, right? So we can see that we have 6 stitches here. So we got 1. See this loop? That's going to look like that. You want to ignore that. So it's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So you know that you're right. So how I did this to make it faster is that I'm going to immediately come into the first one. So I'm moving up to round number 2. I'm immediately coming into the next one, and I have to put 2 single crochets into each one of these around. So if there's 6 here, that means that there's going to be 12 by the time I'm left. So how I did it is that I single crochet and I say 1, and I'm going to single crochet into again say 1. So okay, so I'm going to go to the next one. I'm putting 2 in that one too. So I'm going to go 2 and 2, and then I'm going to go to the next one. So 3 and 3. Then I'm going to go to the next one, 4 and 4. Okay, and then I want to come into the next one, so 5 and 5. This is the last one, and 6 and 6. So now I have my 12 in here. So what I'm going to just do now is that I'm just going to come into the very first one here, pull through and through, and I want to cut this to have about maybe about 1.5 feet length, and I'm going to use that afterward in order to sew it into position. I want to grab the yarn, pull through the loop, like so, and just put it aside. And what I want you to do at this point, see this how it's come out to the end? I want you to come under the first next one and grab that string and pull it behind. So when you go to start working with this, the yarn is already in behind, so when you go to sew on, you won't have a spot that's actually sticking out of place. So please do 12 of these, and hopefully that'll speed you up just like it did for me. So let's begin to do the tail. I want to leave an extra long beginning because I might have to use that afterward, and I want to begin to do a slip knot. And I'm going to use the same color that I did with the body so that the creature looks uniform. Again, I almost messed up. And I want to chain 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And let's move on to the next part. For my next trick, which is the same instruction, I want to come second chain from the hook, and I want to single crochet myself all the way back. This is how easy this tail is, and when we get to the other side, we're just going to fasten off, and this concludes doing this portion of the tail. But we want to create some extra stuff on the end of the tail, and that's what we're going to do next. So let's just get all the way to the end, fasten off, and let's work on our next part of this project. So when you get all the way to the end, just come out to the end and fasten off. And I want to leave an extra long tail just in case I need it. And I want to pull through the loops just like this. So do that. And now we're going to create, we're not yet done the tail, we're going to create something. So I'm going to leave this out to the side, and I'm going to play with this side that has no strings. And that's the next portion of this. So with our material, and I'm going to use the same color that I did. You know what? I'm going to use the red. And we need to cut 4 lengths of 10 inches. So I'm just going to look at 10 and just kind of rough it out. And just get my 10, like so. You know, it's an unusual character. So I just want to cut the loops out of my yarn strings. And now I have 4 lengths of 10 inches. And it may be a little bit less. And what I need you to do then is that I need you to fold it in half so that they're roughly equal. And now I want you to grab the end of the tail that has no strings to it, and I want you to put your hook right in the very last area of the tail. Grab the yarn and pull through like this. And so now you'll have a loop. And what I would strongly recommend before you tie anything, just make sure that the strings are relatively the same length. So I just missed one there, so you want to make sure you capture everything going across. It's good also to show my errors on camera just so that you don't think I'm perfect, but also how to correct if you need to. So I just put the other one back in. I want to make sure that the strings are relatively the same going all the way, and I just want to feed this string, the strings all through this loop like so, and I want to pull tight. Okay, so that's how you'll just do it, and don't trim this. We'll wait till the end of the project where once it's on your project you can determine how long you want to do, and of course if you want it much longer you can always just redo that really easily as well. So that concludes doing your tail. And for my final trick today, I want to add a few more facial features. Today I want to add the mouth and I want to add some nostrils. So that just makes total sense. And these things here are more whimsical looking than anything. So you can determine whether your character is going to have a smile. You can also wait until the end of the crochet mystery to determine where exactly you want to put this. So I'm just going to slip mine in behind here, down here. And I find faces are the hardest thing to do. I've created a slip knot and I'm just going to slip that around here. So I just get it. And basically I'm just want to just make it kind of give a little smile, and again you can determine whether to do this at the end, but all I want to just do is come around a few stitches and just create almost like a little happy little smile. And when you get a gap you just want to go back over it and then come out somewhere else in the smile like this. And what I normally do is that I come back afterward and I kind of go over it one more time. So you see how I'm just kind of spinning around and just getting it done like this. Okay, so I just want to take my time and work on the smile, for this particular thing. And then what we need to do is once we get our smile completed, so you can see my smile is kind of weird at this moment, but once I get my smile completed, I want to then begin to do the nostrils. And what I do is that I grab I have enough string on my character that when I come back, all I want to do is that to do the nostrils, I'm just going to sneak up underneath the project, like so. And I just want to come up over the edge and then back in for one stitch and then come up again. So off camera I'm going to redo this whole thing. I want more time to be able to work on the smile a little bit, and so then essentially you have your nostrils. So I think I did really good on the nostrils. It's just a smile. It's a little bit worrisome, so I can just play with this whole concept a bit, and now I just have my nostrils. So that's all I want you to do today, and we'll meet you back next week as we continue along. And I need to do something about this mouth. It just drives me crazy. What you just need to do after you're done this as well is just come back and start hiding in your loose ends as well. Make sure everything's extra secure. So until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of redheart.com, of freecrochet.com, as well as thecrochetcrowd.com.